Hey there, Aries. How are you tonight? My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekly reading. This one is going to be for Monday, June 16th through Thursday, June 19th. Okay? I'll be back on Wednesday with bonus readings to get you through your weekend. That's pretty much the whole deal. We're just going to pull cards and see what Spirit wants to talk about, and we'll take it from there. Okay? Let's see. So do one more. This one's for my Aries. I hope everybody's having a great night. Here we go. For Aries, Aries. Here we go. Alrighty, tonight we are starting with the Queen of Pentacles, okay? Followed by the Knight of Wands. And then I've got the Page of Pentacles. So this is your backstory or your recent past. Currently I have you at Temperance, the Six of Pentacles, and Strength. In the near future, we're looking at the Four of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. All right, bottom of the deck for this one is actually the Ten of Wands. Okay, so this would say that the undercurrent to this entire reading has to do with you carrying a very heavy burden right now. Quite possibly one that is no longer yours to carry or something that you need to lay down, okay? That's the undercurrent here. The card at the center, so from almost every direction it plays into the equation, like the center spot in tic-tac-toe, right, is the Six of Pentacles. So this kind of plays into the Ten of Wands, really. The Six of Pentacles being all about reciprocity. So it can be all about reciprocity or possibly a lack thereof. So maybe we have a situation here where there is a lack of equal give and take, okay? We're going to see how they play in. So let's start with the past and see what your backstory is. So we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. Aries, I feel as though you are presenting right here as the Queen of Pentacles. I'll go with that. I do believe you can be presenting here as the Queen of Pentacles. So it's you're very nurturing, you're very grounded, you're somebody who's very much so a big picture person. You have your eye on the prize. Whatever it is that you have for the big goal that you have for your life is basically what you're aiming towards right now. You're trying not to get derailed by little things that can go wrong along the way. Like some people do, you're trying to stay focused on where you want to end up. That's a good way to be. With the Knight of Wands here, in the recent past, it would seem you were already in that persona. Male or female, it really doesn't matter. It's just an energy. You are currently standing or presenting in a female, you know what I'm saying, in more of your feminine energy, but it could easily be a guy. At any rate, I feel like in the recent past, your world was shaken, okay? Something truly unexpected happened, okay? In a negative sense, it feels like, okay? So what happened was you were in this being grounded, looking towards the future, only focusing on the big picture type deal, and something transpired or took care, you know, something occurred that that shook you enough that you lost it a little bit, okay? A little bit. So it got the better of you, possibly, you know, whether that was you were screaming and yelling and throwing things, I don't know what you did, but with the Knight of Wands, I get the feeling that you were kind of explosive, okay? You got upset. That's what happened. Which frustrated you in turn, you know what I'm saying? Because you are trying so hard to be this other persona right here. You're trying to be the Queen of Pentacles. So whatever this was that upset you, it upset you on different levels. So it upset you enough to make you go off or something, you know, to lose your cool for a minute. But that upset you almost more than being upset by the other thing, because you're trying to be in control of your emotions or your anger or whatever you want to call it. All that stuff, okay? It rendered you in a spot where you were trying to rebuild then, okay? And I do believe that whatever this was, if this makes sense, the thing that made you mad, we'll say a person did something that made you mad, that's how you exploded. But now that person that made you mad is actually being punished beyond what they should be, because you're mad at yourself for the fact that you lost your cool. So now you're trying to build a foundation now without that person anywhere near you because they got the better of you, if that made sense. Kind of a circle thing. But anyways, that's your past. We couldn't change it if we wanted to. It's already happened. However it played out is what's affecting the rest of this reading, though. So from that experience in the past, we go to the current. Current, I have you at Temperance, the Six of Pentacles, and then the Strength card. Temperance is here because you're going back to this persona, right? You're back in this, okay, right? I'm calm. I'm going to stay patient. I'm not going to let things get to me like that is what it is. With the Six of Pentacles, you are definitely aiming for reciprocity in your life, and that's possibly what set you off in the past, because that's how it falls out. So maybe it was something to do with you investing in something that didn't invest back in you, or somebody taking more than their fair share out of a situation. maybe that was what set you off. With the strength card, you definitely have the strength to build this new foundation you're building, and you are moving forward with that. So everything in the current looks pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to the near future where I have 4 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, and then the 9 of Wands. 4 of Swords is here because all of this I just spoke of has been a bit trying. You know what I'm saying? You need just a minute to like get your footing about you, you know what I'm saying, and get back to a place where you feel secure. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This kind of shook you. Like I said, whatever this was, it pissed you off, and then you got even madder at yourself because you managed to get pissed off. So that's that with the 4 of Swords. 5 of Swords, this is what I told you about where I feel like the person who all this happened because of, I guess you could say, I think that you're at odds with this person now. Probably more so than maybe they deserve. Okay, that's what I'm saying here. They deserve for you to be mad. Obviously, they made you mad to start with, but you're mad at them not just for that, but for the fact that you're mad at yourself in a roundabout way. I hope that makes sense. It did in my head. But anyways, with the 9 of Wands, you do feel wounded. So does the other person involved in this. I don't think that they necessarily set out to make you this angry, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay, behind the 10 of Wands, I have the King of Pentacles and then the Death card. Something about everything that I just spoke of is all happening to you as a catalyst to send you into some kind of transformation. There's something here that's changing, you know. I think you were already headed into a transformation. That's how you got to this point. Let's face it, you're an Aries. So normally you stay in this Knight of Wands, and you've worked very hard to evolve into something stable like the King or Queen of Pentacles, you know. You do have the King of Pentacles here, so it looks like you're going from the feminine to the masculine over here. You should have an ebb and flow between the two anyways, but here you are in boss energy for sure. You're still burdened by something, though. You still have this 10 of Wands. I'm not sure what that's about. Hopefully this transformation you're headed into will help you to relieve yourself of that burden, whatever it is. Give me 3 more. I've got the 6 of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Hierophant. The 6 of Wands would speak of public victory, public recognition and victory, which is coming towards you, I'm sure. I mean, you're putting a lot of work into creating an image and a persona that you're comfortable with or that you're proud of, really. And I believe you're being successful in that way. This Page of Cups, I think this has something to do with this person up here and possibly them trying to come to apologize to you or something. They're not a bad person, or they would have never been close enough to you to hurt you. Think of it like that. So maybe it is time for you to show some grace. I have a feeling people have shown you grace plenty of times in the past. Like I said, I don't believe this person set out to try to hurt you or upset you to the degree that they did. It just happened. But with the Hierophant here, I feel like, you know, you're supposed to fall back on your better side, your morals, your ethics, whatever. Show grace where you can, right? Okay, let's see what we got for the days of the week. Monday, I've got the Page of Wands and the Queen of Swords. You are definitely cold towards this person that all this happened towards. I mean, you are a little cold, a little bit very, yeah, you're just upset there. Okay, Tuesday, I've got the 2 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. There are plenty of options out there for you. You're not, you know, necessarily been putting it into a box or anything. This whole deal right here is about one person that made you mad and then how you dealt with it and you being mad at yourself. I get the feeling possibly this is some kind of a divine union. It does not have to be romantic. It could be a friendship. It could be a family member. I don't know what it is, but it is somebody who is destined to be in your life, and I don't think they had ill intent when this whole thing set off. Wednesday, I've got the World card and the Knight of Cups. There's a cycle coming to a close here, so something new can, you know, a new cycle can open up. With the Knight of Cups, this is you gallantly going into your future, I think. Thursday, I've got the 2 of Wands and then the 7 of Pentacles. This is you needing to make a decision about whether or not you're going to show grace and give forgiveness and how much you want to invest, if at all, in the person that you consider to be at the center of this with you. That's what I see there. There you go. It's not bad. Actually, it's very good. You're going in the right direction. You're working very hard on yourself. You're very self-aware. It looks like it's a good thing overall. You had a slip up, but only hold this person accountable for their part, okay? You can't really hold them accountable for the part where you got mad at yourself because you let somebody get to you, maybe. Okay, that's what I see. All right, y'all. No matter what the cards say, have the best week you possibly can, and I'll see you on Wednesday with bonus readings, okay? All right, take care.